Now this time, 2010 years ago, three wise men were following a star that came to be known as the Star of Bethlehem, or the Christmas star.
But how wise were they really? Were they following a star at all? Here to tell us the truth behind the Christmas star is David Moore of Astronomy Ireland. A very good morning to David.
Merry Christmas.
So is there really a Christmas star, or what were the three wise men following?
Well, the whole story of the Star of Bethlehem is, of course, 2,000 years old and shrouded in some mystery. But all what I'm going to say this morning is not heresy, so Peter isn't here to excommunicate me or anything like that. There is a lot of doubt about the exact birth date of Christ. The calendar we use today, to 2010, was actually set up by a monk in the year 525 AD, and he is known, as a matter of historical fact, to have made a few mistakes, which means Christ was really born several years BC, probably 5 to 10, and the exact day of the year is not known either. You can read passages in the Bible which tell you about what the sheep were doing in the Middle East at the time, and you can figure out it wasn't December, it was probably September or August. And then if you start to look 4 BC to 10 BC, what was happening astronomically, or indeed astrologically, because back then astrology would have been very well considered. Today, of course, we don't believe in it at all, not scientists anyway. And you find there is one huge event. You look at comets, shooting stars, fireballs, kind of things we've been talking about over the last few months on the show here, and one sticks out like a sore thumb. There is a conjunction, that's a coming together of the planets Jupiter and Saturn. Now, they're not coming together this Christmas. Jupiter's in the evening skies, Saturn's in morning skies, but that happens every 20 years, so it's not so special. And then it happened in the constellation of Pisces. I think here we have a representation of what happened in 7 BC. They came together 3 times. So if you read Matthew in the Bible, he says, we have seen his star in the east, and then they seem to have predicted it. This first conjunction proves it happened. The second conjunction, they set off, and the third one, they presumably arrive. And if you take all those astronomical facts and say, well, on the moment of the most astrologically significant part of this triple conjunction, which, if you were an almighty God, would you have your son born on that particular day rather than setting up a complete miracle, then you end up with the fact that Christ should have been born on the evening of Tuesday, the 15th of September, in the year 7 BC.
So this should be 2017.
2016, because there's no year 0 either. Believe it or not, they didn't discover the year 0 till about the year 1200. Mathematicians will tell you. We're all used to it today. So there's lots of interesting things you learn about history, astronomy and the Bible if you research these particular
Father,
facts.
what do you think about that? You're sitting there kind of chuckling away to yourself.
Well, I don't believe in any star, and I don't believe in any 3 wise men. I think this was a story. It was a story told to communicate a truth. The truth is that Jesus was the leader of the Christian community. Jesus was the one they followed, not Herod, not Caesar. Jesus was king of the Christian community. And so instead of saying, oh, Jesus is king of the Christian community, they told a story. They told a story about 3 wise men coming to worship this king and to present to him gifts that were fitting for a king. The truth is not that there were 3 wise men, not that there was a star. The truth is that Jesus is the leader of the Christian community, and they told it in a story, the way we tell our kids about Santa, maybe. You tell your kids about Santa, you're trying to communicate a truth to them. You're trying to say, look, it's important that you behave and that you don't misbehave. And Santa will come to you if you behave, and he won't come if you don't misbehave. And when you tell them the story of Santa, you're not trying to tell them anything about Santa, but you're using a story to communicate a truth to them, that they should behave. And I think those stories, birth stories in the Gospels, are exactly the same thing.
Oh, well,
I mean, it's a great story, and of course, what Peter says, the spirit and message of Christmas is very important. But what does it for me is that the astrologers, the wise men of the time, would have predicted the birth of the king of the Jews. Jupiter was the planet associated with kings, Saturn with Jews, and Pisces with rebirth. And there's no record of a failed search. So it could just be a message, of course, it could be a miracle. But if there is an astronomical explanation, I think there probably is.
Okay.
I think, it sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
This is a debate for another day. We could go on and on, but for the moment we have to go. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.